everybody. Robert Phillips here, the rock and roll speaker, also known as the Funnel Man. I'd like to welcome you back to this episode on my podcast, Step Into Your Future. That's the name of my podcast. And I always like to explain to people at the first of the podcast here what exactly is Step Into Your Future all about. Well, Step Into Your Future is all about learning new skills in the online marketing industry. Now, why do I say that? Well, because your future depends on it. When I say step into your future, I mean step into your future, and your future is online marketing. If you have a brick and mortar today and you're trying to go from brick and mortar to online, you're trying to connect the two, then it would be very advisable for you to learn as much online marketing skills and techniques that you can. That way, your future will look very bright. And if you don't, you will definitely be left behind. Mark my words that online marketing is your future. So step into your future. Today, we are going to learn a lot of different things. Before you leave this, I promise you that you're going to know what the formula for success is. You're going to learn how to execute to be able to be successful. You're also going to learn the formula for success. Wouldn't that be cool to learn the formula for success? Also, we're going to talk a little bit about resilience. If things go bad and things don't go exactly how you want them to go, can you be resilient and bounce back? Absolutely you can. And then we're going to touch just a little bit on productivity. So I tell you what, if you stay all the way to the end, you're going to learn a lot of different things that's going to help you jumpstart your online marketing career. Because all of these things that I'm talking about will absolutely help you build your staircase to your future. So let's go ahead. Wow, man, I can't believe it. I think an eagle just flew over me. No, it's not an eagle. It looks like it's a huge vulture. Oh, wow, man. Okay. I'll tell you what, let's get into this. Um, let's talk about first actions that you need to take in order to be a success. Okay. So, you know, whenever I was learning how to play the guitar, some of you may not know this or not, but I'm a musician. I've been playing guitars for many, many years. I play things like Van Halen, ZZ Top, Leonard Skinner, Aerosmith, you name it. I love it, and I love to rock out on my guitar. And so when I first learned how to play the guitar, the very first chords I learned were G, C, and D. And as the years went by, then I started learning Van Halen and AC/DC and ZZ Top and all of these, fantastic musician songs. And so, the way I learned that was doing it every single day, right? I took incremental steps every single day towards my objectives. So now let's talk a little bit about that. What is your objective in life? Surely you had more than one. Hopefully you have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But what is your objective? Some people might say, my objective is just to make it through another day, while others may say, my objective is to become wildly successful. So which one are you? Are you the one that says, oh man, I'm just trying to make it through another day? Or are you the one that says, you know what? I am going to become wildly successful no matter what it takes. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. I'm going to learn whatever skills I need to do. I will meet my objectives and my dreams will come true. So which one are you? Are you going to say that you're going to make it through another day? Or do you actually have goals and objectives and things that you want to meet? You know, Speaking of objectives, let me tell you a story here. When I was a little bit younger, I think I was about 12 years old, My uncle and aunt, they raised me, and so we moved out to this I believe it was 69 acres. And while we were there, we were building fence and we built the house and we built the barn. And all of a sudden, it dawned on us that we didn't have any water. Of course, I'm sure my uncle already knew that. I was just 12 years old. That was the last thing I was thinking about was how to survive. But anyway, he wanted to um, crack some rocks and see if he could get some spring water coming up. And so we went over to the little place where there was just a little bit of water coming out of there, just a little bit. So we drilled some holes and we put some dynamite in there, okay? And guess who got to light it? Me. That's right. 12 years old, lighting sticks of dynamite with, the fuse string was only maybe about 6 inches long. So guess what my objective was? My objective, I'll tell you what, my objective at that time was to light that 6-inch fuse and to get the heck out of Dodge, man. And I guarantee you, when I lit that fuse, I ran as fast as I could, and that was my objective, was to run far enough away that, I was safe from the dynamite. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that story. It was pretty hilarious. They could have actually uh, cast me in that show, the one where he runs really, really super quick. But anyway, if you can just visualize that, I was 12 years old lighting dynamite. And let me tell you something, my objective was to get the heck out of Dodge and get someplace safe. So what is your objective? Okay. Do you just want to make it through another day or do you want to become wildly successful? Let's think about that just for a little bit. It wasn't too long ago that I actually was saying those words that, you know what, I wish I could just make it through another day. And the truth is, I was living under a picnic table. I never thought it would happen to me. However, I found myself homeless with only the clothes on my back and 32 cents in my pocket. I'll tell you what, um, I'd like to ask everybody here, how many people listening to this podcast like to feel appreciated or you like to feel important? Absolutely, we do. As human beings, we all want to have that feeling of importance. Wouldn't you agree? The problem is this, while all of us want that feeling, there are only a few willing to do what it takes to get it, that feeling of importance. The majority of mankind seems to struggle as to how to achieve success. Think about it. If you want to feel appreciated and important, then why not become successful, right? When you are a success, you will attain that feeling of importance that all of mankind is searching for, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? So, we touched a little bit about that. Let's go on now. By the way, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. I hope the sound level is just right here, and I hope that everything's coming across very smoothly because there's one thing I found about doing podcasts, especially on your audio. You don't want a bunch of dogs barking in the background and wind blowing and all that kind of stuff. So I want to make sure that you're getting a very pleasing tone from my audio. Hopefully you are. And again, if you do like, and if you're getting value out of my podcast, please do me a favor and share it, like it, and comment, and download as many as you like. Because remember, I'm doing this to help as many people as possible. And I want to help them step into their future, okay? I want to help them learn online marketing. That way, if they do have a regular 9 to 5, then this will just be some additional supplemental income that they can earn by learning online marketing, okay? It's a fantastic deal, and I guarantee you that if you don't know online marketing now, you will have to know it in just the next few years because There are brick and mortar stores out there that are closing every single day because everything's going online. So mark my words, you need to learn online marketing so you can step into your future. So now, let's talk about the formula for success. Has anybody ever wanted to know the formula for success? I'm sure you have. I'll tell you what, I asked myself that many, many times whenever I was starting my actual education into the online space. And, I've been doing this for well over 20 years, and I've learned quite a bit, quite a bit. I'm currently a consultant for online marketing, and I plan on doing this many, many more years. Not only do I enjoy it, I mean, it is a blast once you get going. So, what is the formula for success? Would you like to know what it is? Everybody needs to write this down if you can. The formula to success is incremental steps daily. In other words, daily executed actions equals success, which happens to be what we're talking about right here. Let me say that again. Incremental steps daily is the formula to success, and daily executed actions equals success. So, having said that, we all need to focus on taking incremental steps daily towards any goal we may have in order for us to become success. We can also say that this is the solution to the problem of people who struggle to achieve success. Can we not? So, what our focus should be on this minute is how can we reach our objectives and our goals? You know, what are we trying to be successful at? What do you want? What are you passionate about? What do you love doing every day? What do you like talking to your friends and family about? Um, what do you do whenever you're not working? What is your hobby? What are those things that you really, really enjoy doing? So, what are your goals in life? Remember, it's much easier to break things down into small segments. Lots of people they fail more than they succeed because then they try to work on the big picture. Okay, they always look at the big picture, and then it becomes way overwhelming. And you're much better off if you'll just take incremental steps daily, working on a small piece of your goal or objective at a time. And I've said incremental steps many, many times. A lot of you may already know that I'm the author of the book called Incremental Steps Daily. And my book is on Amazon. If you'd like to pick you up a copy, just go to Amazon and type in Incremental Steps Daily. And also, I would like to mention that if you need to get in touch with me, just look at the notes below the podcast. You can go to robert@thefunnelman.com, or you can go to my site, thefunnelman.com. All right, and if you do want a free consultation, just go to thefunnelman.com, and there's a link at the very top of the site, says free consultation. I'd love to speak with you. Okay, let's get back to what we were talking about here, taking incremental steps daily to reach our goals and to become successful, because we're talking about the formula to success. Now, do you remember what the formula was? The formula is incremental steps daily. Okay? Daily executed actions equals success. Remember that. Make sure you write that down. Daily executed actions equals success. So, let's break this down a little bit further. Okay? Let's look at the definition of what a goal is. A goal is something that you put in place in order to achieve something else. Does that make sense? A goal is something that you put in place in order to achieve something else. It's really a shame that so many people want to achieve success. However, more often than not, people choose not to even put a goal in place for fear of failure. Now, that's just one reason why only a few people reach success, as we know, because they are all scared and frightened, and they are all fearful that they will not succeed. And do you realize that most people have failed more times than they want to remember? That's right. And it's so true that this happens to way too many people. They're just too scared to fail. And I'm not sure if you've ever heard this term or not, but many people have failed their way all the way to success. So, remember, we're talking about the formula for success. We know that it's incremental steps daily, and we also know that it's executed actions daily equals success. So if you do something every single day towards your objective or your goal, you will finally meet it. I guarantee you. So when you have an objective or goal in front of you and you're trying to achieve it, the best way to do it is to start out with a plan. Okay. And what I'm talking about that is, set an objective or a goal for a month or maybe 3 months or maybe 6 months. Some people, they set a goal for a year. Some people set a goal for 5 years and others 10 years. Myself, I like to set 3 to 6 months goals, 3 to 6 months. That way, when I reach them, I have something to celebrate and I don't have to wait an entire year to make that celebration. So let's take a look at resilience now. Okay, I hope you learned a little bit about the formula for success, and I hope you're taking some notes because this is good stuff. Okay. And like I said, I am the author of Incremental Steps Daily. So all of this podcast and everything that's coming from this platform is actually things that I've done over my past 20 years in the online marketing space. And so I'm not just getting this from somebody else, it's actually coming straight from me. And don't forget that I wrote the book, Incremental Steps Daily. So let's talk about resilience. Resilient, what is what's the definition to resilience? Well, the definition is the physical property of a material that can return to its original shape or form after deformation that does not exceed its elastic limit. That's a heck of a definition, isn't it? The physical property of a material that can return to its original shape. I like that. Let's just stop right there. So, in other words, if you take a rubber band and you stretch it out and you let go, what does it do? Well, it goes back to its original shape, doesn't it? It's resilient. And a lot of times in our life, we'll come across things that have happened to us and things that, it's going to take a little bit to come back from that because it was so devastating. And so, human beings, they have a great deal of resiliency, and all of us go through difficult situations from time to time. We've got death in our families, including our pets. We got job loss. We got heartbreaks because things have failed that we really wanted. Our heart is broken. Maybe we saw a beautiful home that we wanted, and we just knew we were going to get it, and they called us and told us that somebody else, actually won the bid. So things like that are hard to overcome, but you can do it. All you have to do is be resilient. So it seems like getting increasingly difficult to spring back, doesn't it? As quickly as we used to. However, it all depends on what we're focusing on. Are we stuck in the past or do we look quickly toward the future? There are more frustrations than ever in today's society. Let's take a look at some of those frustrations, okay? Some of those are, as I already mentioned, death in the family, job loss, illness in the family, not being able to reach our goals on the first try. You put trust into somebody and it didn't work out. Maybe you have vehicle problems. Maybe your car won't start when you're getting ready to go to work. Computer problems. I guarantee you, I've been very frustrated at times, as many of you have, I'm sure. Maybe there's times when you can't pay your mortgage, or, maybe you're having relationship problems or emotional setbacks. And, I'm sure there are a number of these things that hit home with you, so to speak. So, what does somebody do when one of these occur in your life? Do we accept these as being part of life? Or do we always say, why does this always have to happen to me? Whatever the reaction is, as long as you don't dwell on this for too long. Now, what's too long? If you notice other problems starting to arise because you haven't moved on yet, then that's your cue to move along. And I'm not saying to forget the past, but don't linger for months and months on something that will not be in your best interest in the future. And after that, continue living, because that's what life is all about. Well, we're getting to the end of this right now. Let's go ahead and touch just a little bit on productivity. What is productivity? Well, it's the quality of being productive or having the power to produce, right? Being productive and having the power to produce. So, from my point of view, being from Texas, I understand this by, people saying, let's get her done, right? And also, it fits with my normal saying, make it happen. What do you think the world would be like if everyone started something and never finished it? That'd be terrible, wouldn't it? If people started things and they never finished it, that's exactly why productivity is so important. Uh, I'm going to give you a couple of quotes here. This one here is by Paul Meyer. Productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence. Okay? That's a good quote, isn't it? To me, productivity has a lot to do with a timeline as well. From looking at the definition, I would also have to ask this: how long does it take to produce? In other words, how long does it take to get the job done? So, how long do you think it takes to get the job done? Well, I tell you what, being productive is very, very important. And you want to always, begin something with the purpose of finishing it. I'm going to stop right here. I hope you enjoyed some of these things. And I did want you to know a few things. The secret to being successful is incremental steps daily and doing things, executing things every single day towards your objectives and your goals. And you also want to make sure that you are resilient. You've got to be resilient. I mean, this is life we're talking about. If you're resilient, then you have to come back and begin where you left off. So try to be resilient. And as we talked about, do not dwell on things for months and months and months. You have to move on. You have to live your life. And as far as productivity, when you start something, finish it. Start and finish it. I'm Robert Phillips, the rock and roll speaker, also known as the Funnel Man. If you've got any value out of this podcast or any of my other podcasts, do me a favor. Please share, like, and comment, and download all of my podcasts. Listen to them. And remember that Step Into Your Future, which is the name of my podcast, I am on a mission to spread the word about online marketing. And it's the only way that you can actually step into your future is by learning new online marketing skills and online techniques that will help you and your family thrive in the coming years. All right, Robert Phillips, have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.